So I started doing this video, editing it, and then I realised that I hadn't really done an introduction and it was a little bit confusing, so I thought I'd do an introduction now and just explain what we did in the week and a little bit of what happens in the video. So in the week, Brochan took the van to get welded, the big rust holes, but unfortunately his friend didn't have the right welding tools, so he said to just fiberglass over it, a special fiberglass kit, and then put car body filler on it to really make it hard, like toughen it, and then painted it with the Hammerite rust paint. In this video we planned to clad, that was the initial idea, and then Brochan hadn't got the right screws, so we couldn't actually get all of the cladding in, so that's been changed again. So we painted everything in another coat over the rust paint, and then got around to finally laying the flooring. So we laid an underlay and then got the laminate down, which is nice to get done. So yeah, anyway, on with the video. Just before we clad, we're going to put extra insulation onto the roof, another layer of this bubble insulation, and we've got to put another bit down here. Then we're going to seal it with this foil tape, which just helps to stop any air or moisture get behind the insulation, and it just seals all the gaps. We're also going to cover all the little holes we've got in the van from the old screws and where the insulation's like come away a little bit. Tape is sort of like double-sided sticky tape, but with one sticky side, so it's got paper on the back that you half peel off. Just don't get it stuck to itself. When you're applying the tape, just make sure all the edges are stuck really well, because it just stops any air or moisture getting behind it and into the insulation, and just creating a really strong seal. Just insulated the wheel arches as well, and I think we're going to carpet over them afterwards. But I just wanted to say the tape, which is insulation tape, you can get it from any like DIY store, I think, or online, if you just search insulation tape. And the adhesive is probably full of really bad chemicals. You can also just get from DIY stores. But always wear a mask when you do this. Insulation we're using is just a bubble wrap foil insulation. And you can just get that online. It comes in rolls. I don't know how much they are now, because this we bought ages ago, and I think it was £20 a roll.
I think that, yeah, it's probably got it.
But that was 4 years ago, so it might be more expensive than that now. But yeah, it's all easily available. So we've put 2 layers of insulation on because we are planning on going to Scandinavia in the winter. If you're just planning on like summer trips and things like that, you're not going to need this much insulation. Like our van got really warm with just 1 layer, and the Celotex. So we put the Celotex all in the little alcove things. We've put Celotex in, which you can't see behind all this. And then we put this bubble stuff on top for extra warmth. But I mean, this amount of insulation was fine when we were in the snow in Switzerland. We kept warm enough with like just even candles actually heated the van up. But for a prolonged period in winter, we just want extra warmth and insulation. There's been another change of plan with the cladding, because Brochan got the wrong screws, so we can't actually attach it to the walls at the moment. Brochan's having to wait until the shops are open on Monday, and then he will hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, we're going to get it done this week at some point. Don't roll your eyes at me. Anyway, going to just put another coat of paint on the floor, not the rust paint. We're going to put this undercoat that we used on all the doors and around the windows, just to give it a bit more seal against hopefully moisture and air, so hopefully it's going to be another barrier against the rust. So we're going to do that now, and then tomorrow we are going to lay the floor, I hope, unless there's any other problems that happen. So we've got this underlay for the laminate, which is just wood fibre into these little boards. They're 5mm thick, and they add a little bit of insulation and are meant to even out the floor a bit. This was £17.99 for a pack, quite a lot, and it was this covers 6.99 square metres, so it's way more than what we need. This is our little makeshift scribing tool, just so we can get the shape of these curvy bits which are hard to do any other way. So you just tape something like a pencil onto another pencil, then you just put it at the start, and then it's quite difficult. You can just follow along the edge of the... To get the shape of the step, we're just going to get the pencil and then just run along the edge so it's got a line underneath here. Now we've got this line for the contour of the step, and we'll just cut it with a standing knife, which is quite easy on this. Finished laying this underlay, and then we scribed around all the edges for all those awkward spots. And so now we're going to do the laminate. So we got this laminate, which is, I don't know what effect it is, but some sort of wood. It's 5mm thick, and it was £7.99 a square metre. We just wanted to get like the thinnest one we could because our van space isn't very big. We've got a thin underlay because we're trying to minimise how much space was taken up by all the materials we're putting in. This laminate is just tongue and groove, so it just slots in, and we're doing it stepped, as Brochan said. Apparently that creates more strength, more stability. So this plank goes up to here, and then the other one to there, and then we'll do the next one down to there, and the same, like that. I forgot to explain what was happening by the end of the video as well, but basically we just laid all the laminate we could before it got dark, and then Brochan's going to finish it off in the week, hopefully.